Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I'm here in mainland Spain. It's 9:33 in the morning, and I'm going to make a couple of videos this morning, a couple of live streams, because later on this afternoon, I have classes. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Spanish teacher. And then, of course, England, I have classes right up to just before the England match. England's playing in the semi-finals of the Euros tonight, playing Holland. Hopefully we'll win. Then watching Spain play last night, I sort of do feel as if Spain are probably going to win the competition because they are a really good team. But you never know. We might get into the final against them and we may beat them. You never know, do you? So I've got the Valium ready. I've got the sedatives ready because, watching England is always a bit of a roller coaster. So I won't be on tonight, I don't think, unless anything, very sort of important happens, like some updates on any of the cases we're covering, etc. Now, of course, first of all, I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, all my watchers, anyone who has liked my videos, anyone who's joined. A special thank you to my members. And thank you to anyone who sent me an email, left me a nice comment, etc., or supported my channel in any way. Thank you so much. Now, of course, we've been concentrating a lot on the Jay Slater disappearance, and this week I've been trying to catch up with other cases that we've been following, or other stories that might be of interest because of things we've looked at before. And I've been trying to catch up with that a bit this week. I will carry on catching up with it. But also, of course, anytime there's any news about Jay Slater, any proper news, not social media, making it up, rumours, he said, she said, none of that. When there's any official news, of course, or news directly from the family, etc., I will be letting you know. But this video this issue that we're going to talk about today is nothing to do with Jay Slater. This, of course, is about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who I have covered in videos on my channel. If you type in Gypsy Rose into my YouTube channel, it will come up with the videos that I have done about her case so far. Now, I'm going to say hello to the people that are here so far, and then I'm going to just give you a little bit of a background about Gypsy, about the story of Gypsy. Some of you may not know this story, so I will just give you okay. So good morning or good afternoon or good evening to Frigaria, Mia, and no comment. And anyone else who's watching at home. Not everybody likes to join in the chat, but please be respectful to each other in the chat, and to me, of course. In my chat, you're free to give whatever theory you want, give whatever opinion you want, as long as you're respectful and you don't attack anybody else's opinion. Because, you know that opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Okay, so let's just have a little bit. Let's have a look at Gypsy. Well, she's unrecognizable now, Gypsy, from what she looked like when she was a child. And this is the crux of this sort of matter. I really, probably like a lot of you, I've got very mixed feelings about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, because there's part of me, I just feel for her so much, because she did suffer, a really different, that her childhood. This is Gypsy now. She didn't look like this years ago. We'll be looking at some photos of how she looked. She did suffer a very abusive childhood. I mean, you cannot take away from the childhood that she suffered. So her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, had, sort of pretended, if you like, that Gypsy was ill to try and get like charity money. They had a house built for them, and it sort of has transpired that Dee Dee, her mum, she literally kept her in a wheelchair, took her for scans, for tests that she didn't need. You know, I mean, it was awful. Right from when she was a baby, she would say that Gypsy was ill when in fact she really was not ill. So, you know, Gypsy had to suffer this. Of course, when she was a child, she had no choice because, you know, she just had to do whatever her mum told her she had to do. But it's as she got older that's where I start to think, you know, because there did come to a point of time in Gypsy's life as she got older, as she became a teenager, like teenagers do, and they get more independent. She knew she could walk. She knew, she must have known, maybe, you know, that what this was not right, what Dee Dee was doing, but she didn't go anywhere and try and get help. You know, she had a father, they were estranged, her mum and dad were estranged, her father was married to somebody else, but she could have told him. She then found a boyfriend on a Christian dating site, and his mother, Nicholas Goddard on this was, she met him on the internet. Now they met up. Gypsy had her own money, she sent him money, she had money to go and meet up with him. So, you know, there was a point, I think, in time where it came to where she was a bit more independent, and she could have probably gone for help and not done what she ended up doing, which was concoct a plan with her boyfriend of the time, Nicholas, to murder her mother. And that's exactly what they did. So Dee Dee, let's see what year it was, because I'm not sure of the year, etc. As usual, I've got too many windows open. Let me just put some of them down, and then I know I had the Wikipedia page up. It's disappeared. So yeah, instead of sort of going for help, which she could have done, they created a plan to murder Dee Dee. And that's exactly what they did. So Gypsy sent Nicholas money to buy a knife. Nicholas came over to the house. Gypsy let him in. So she was born in 1991. So she's in her early 30s now. And she only received, even though it was her plan, she admits that it was her who asked Nicholas to kill her mum. She only got 10 years in prison. Now, this was because it was taken into account, this Munchausen by proxy, you know, that she'd suffered lifelong physical, mental and medical abuse. And she really did suffer all that. But despite and she wasn't the one, of course, that actually stabbed Dee Dee, but it was her. Was, you know, I think you could really reasonably think that if it wasn't for Gypsy, Nicholas probably never would have killed anyone. Nicholas was a vulnerable youth. He had autism, and he thought that he was easily manipulated by Gypsy. So she was given 10-year prison sentence, but she was paroled after only 8 years at the end of the year last year. So she came out of prison last year. Now, while she was in prison, she was engaged twice to 2 different men, and she actually she married one of them in prison. So she got married while she was in prison. Now, bear in mind, she only came out of prison in December last year. They're already split up. She's split up from him, and she's now pregnant to another guy. So, you know, my question is why? Because when she split up from her husband, she said she just wanted time for her. But obviously she hasn't spent, you know, she hasn't had any time for her, because she's then gone straight into another relationship, and now she's pregnant. So is she just, you know, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, why does she feel like she has to literally roll from one man to another? Because is it because of the childhood that she suffered? And when she was young, she did, as I say, she did not look like that I just showed you. Let's have a look at some pictures of Gypsy. and she's unrecognizable now, of course, from how she was. So, you know, these sort of things have an effect on you. If when she was a child and she had braces and she couldn't walk and all these things, is that then why now, you know, she seems to be so desperate for a man's attention? I'm looking for a picture of her how she was. Doesn't seem to be any. They're all her new pictures. Oh, this is Nicholas. This is Nicholas, who is the man who killed Dee Dee. He's in prison for life without parole. You know, it did seem a bit unfair because Nicholas was only young at the time as well. And he killed Dee Dee because he was so in love with Gypsy, and Gypsy asked him to do it. She admitted that she asked him to do it. Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't get punished at all, but it just seems a bit of an unfair punishment that he's got life without parole and Gypsy was out in 8 years. I mean, what do you think? Let me know what you think. Maybe you don't think that. Maybe you think that, you know, Gypsy should have got no prison sentence. But so we can see how glamorous Gypsy is now. Where is a picture of her when she was young? There. So this is Gypsy with her mum. So you can see, you know, she's got braces. She was underweight. This is her mum, Dee Dee, who is deceased, murdered. And while she was being murdered, Gypsy was in the bathroom shaving all her bits. This is what she said, because immediately after Nicholas murdered Dee Dee, her and Nicholas had sex. You know, so she wasn't exactly sorry either, was she? You know, that's another thing that I feel she's never really said that she was sorry for it. You know, I don't, and at the end of the day, Dee Dee had mental health issues herself, and I'm not sticking up for Dee Dee. It was awful what she did, but you know, really, I think, why did nobody else notice that something was wrong? You know, like her father, for example. You know, all the blame goes on Dee Dee, but Dee Dee was mentally ill as well, wasn't she? But anyway, it doesn't matter. She's no longer with us. She can't speak from beyond the grave, so we can't get her side of the story. Now, what I did find a bit disturbing was this is the guy that she married as soon as she came out of prison. Here he is. That's it. Now, to me, he looks just like Dee Dee. I was struck by how alike he was. Dee Dee, you know, big guy. He's even got her face. You know, it was like quite sort of odd. Anyway, she married him in prison. And she came out of prison. They went off to all, you know, but it wasn't, oh, they all lived happily ever after. Very shortly afterwards, they split up and she took out an injunction against him. So God knows what happened there. Now, we haven't got the full story because there's a documentary coming out, a sort of lifestyle, you know, life with them when she came out of prison coming out, and I think he can't talk about it. They can't talk about it because it's all secret until this sort of lifestyle documentary comes out. So yeah, she split up from him, said she needed time for her, and then almost immediately she's with this guy, and now she's pregnant. So it's like she doesn't stop for breath, does she? So as I say, is she just man mad? Is it because of the insecurity she had when she was a child? You know, probably not feeling very attractive, etc. And that can have an effect on you for the rest of your life. And now it seems like she cannot be without a man. And when she first came out of prison, oh God, she was all over social media. He was rocking her world every night. You know, there was far too much information. You know, they were telling people about their sex life, etc. It wasn't very nice, really. I mean, you know, you've got to have a little bit of decorum, haven't you? Looks like they had their tattoos done together, etc. So now she's in love with somebody else. So she's been, you know, there's been Nicholas, there's been her ex-husband, and now this new guy. So her ex-husband is Ryan Anderson, and her current boyfriend is Ken Urker, and he's the father of her baby. So what we're going to look at now is we're going to look at this in Gypsy's own words, because Gypsy has her own YouTube channel, and she announced that she was pregnant to her fans in a video, and we're going to have a look at that.
So I know the rumors have been flying around for quite some time now, and I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant. Ken and I are expecting our very first child come January of 2025. We're both very excited. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected, but we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood. I have already experienced the symptoms. When I first learned that I was pregnant, the first thing that I noticed was the cravings. So I craved orange juice. Orange juice was not something that like I craved on a daily basis before. So when I started craving orange juice, I'm like, okay,
Well, she's very lucky craving orange juice. At least it's healthy. I was craving chocolate or anything I could stuff my face with, really. So good for her that it's orange juice. Now, the other thing I just want to say, the other thing that sort of irks me a little bit about Gypsy, and again, maybe it's due to her upbringing, she talks like a child, doesn't she? Now, of course, Dee Dee made her, she never really knew exactly how old she was, because Dee Dee shaved a few years off her, tried to keep her younger than she really was. So this is probably a throwback to that, but she's 32 now, I think, and she still talks like she's about 12, doesn't she? And the other thing that I do feel with Gypsy, don't forget, Gypsy did learn how to manipulate. She learned from the mistress of manipulation, really, Dee Dee. And I do think that there was definitely came a time in Gypsy's life where she could have rebelled. She knew she could walk. She had her own money, because it enabled her to meet Nicholas and buy him a knife and bring him to kill Dee Dee, etc. So I really am. I know you'll all let me know what you think. I really am conflicted about this. I sort of go between my heart breaking for Gypsy and what she had to go through, and then there's another part of me that thinks, well, yeah, but why didn't you go to the police, or why didn't you go to your dad, or why? So and I was just looking what you said there, Popeye, and I think you're right. I think that Ryan looked like a mum, and now this new guy looks a lot like her dad. He's I would say is better looking than, not that looks are everything, but to me, Ryan, whenever I looked at him, I just couldn't help but think of Dee Dee, and but this new guy, or the new old guy, because she was actually engaged to him before. So this is another thing. She's got a history of starting relationships and breaking them up. Prison didn't stop her. God knows what happened to Nicholas. Is she even still in contact with him? He murdered her mum for her, gave her all this fame and fortune, because, and I'm not even blaming her for that. She's certainly used it to her own advantage. With her YouTube channels and her interviews and documentaries, etc. And I'm not blaming her for that. Make the best of a bad situation. Nothing wrong with that. And what's she going to do now she's pregnant? Is this baby going to be exposed to social media and the world? And this baby, this Dee Dee, would have been its grandma. How's that all going to pan out? I mean, it's a right mess, really, isn't it?
Because I just want orange juice. I didn't think anything of it. And so that was one thing. And then like the next thing that I noticed was like the hunger, like an insatiable hunger to just eat everything. So I really went on a binge and just started eating everything. And then, of course, I missed my period. And I didn't think anything of it because I had seen my OBGYN and I had tested my fertility. And she's like, we're probably gonna have to put you on fertility meds, or at least something to make you ovulate, because you're not ovulating on a regular. So I'm like, okay. So I had that appointment was like a month out. And so when I missed my period, I thought I was just having issues with ovulation. And it wasn't until I had texted with Ken, and he's like, have you taken a pregnancy test? And I'm like, nah, I don't think I'm pregnant. I don't think it's that. And then I had taken a test, and it turned out positive. And so everything just made sense. But my pregnancy journey so far. So I have experienced crazy mood swings. Like, poor Ken. If he breathes wrong,
See, this is another thing. She's been experiencing crazy mood swings. I think if I was Ken, I would be sleeping with one eye open, because I don't mean to make a joke, but it's just my sense of humor. Sorry. I do feel for Gypsy, honestly, I do. But she's got some history there, hasn't she? She wasn't sorry about her mum dying at all. And it was a mum at the end of the day, but I am so torn over this. Guys, I'm going to sound like Paul Arnott now. Guys, I'm so torn. It's a madness. It's a complete madness, guys. I just can't make my mind up. As I say, I go from this, I can see in the chat, some of you are for her, some of you are a bit more against her. I go from one thing to another. It's just like maybe it's because of her doing all this social media stuff. Maybe if she'd just, kept her low profile. But of course, again, she has been brought up in the public eye. Dee Dee used her for sort of publicity stunts, for money, etc. So maybe that's just what she's been brought up to do. She's told her story even before Dee Dee died. Dee Dee encouraged her to tell her story or a false story. She was always on the news, and so she's been brought up in the public eye, really. So maybe that's just why she's doing it. It'd be interesting to see what happens with the baby. Because the trouble is with this social media stuff, once you've lifted the lid off the bottle, she's not going to be able to put it all away again. She'll either have to, if she wants to, be discreet about the baby, she's probably going to have to come off social media altogether.
I'm just like, pregnancy is not easy with the mood swings. And he's been very gracious about it. He's been very forgiving about it, but good Lord. We were driving in the car the other day, and this is before I got my hair done, so I did still have brown hair at this time. But I was listening to music, and a song came on the radio, and I just started crying. And I'm like, why am I crying right now? Like, oh my God, this song has never made me so emotional. And it was Let It Go or Let Her Go or something by Passenger. Good Lord. I was just in tears. I'm like, I cannot listen to this stuff. I can't do it. A lot of the other symptoms that I've been having is mild symptoms, everything that goes with pregnancy. Now, morning sickness, I've been actually very blessed to not have major morning sickness. That's been amazing. So far, pregnancy has been a breeze as far as symptoms. I find like the tiredness is starting to wear off a little bit. That was like the biggest symptom that I had saw with me, is that I'm always tired and sleepy. So that's been one thing that I've been dealing with. The rest is completely manageable. Like I said, Ken has been very forgiving to my symptoms. But the rest has been a breeze. And the baby looks healthy, happy.
Poor Ken, why am I getting the feeling that roll on in a year and there may be another boyfriend in there? It may be because of what's happened to her, but you just get the feeling, I don't know. And this baby, I hope maybe the baby will be the making of her. Babies can send you one of two ways, really, because you can put everything into that child, and it can help you sort of get through tough times, or you can go the other way, and we don't know which way she's going to go, do we?
It's still going to be a long journey ahead, but I'm up for it. I know that there are going to be people that feel like I'm not ready to be a mother. And I don't know if anyone's really ready to become a mother.
Nobody's ever ready to be a mother. And it's true. If you waited till you were ready to be a mother, you just would never have children, would you? Because there's no such thing as a perfect mother. But mothers are expected to be perfect. And of course, Dee Dee gets all the bad thing, but Dee Dee had her mental health issues. Nobody ever mentions the fact that the father never noticed anything or, realised what was happening. Same with Madeline Soto, everyone jumping on Jen Soto. What about Madeline's dad, who thought Stephen Stearns was brilliant as well, and the whole of Jen's family, apart from the mother, apparently. These people, they sort of, they're, how can I put it, Dee Dee, for all her faults or whatever, she did bring her up on her own. So, that there's something. Anyway, nobody deserves to be stabbed to death. I don't care who they are. So you don't deserve to be stabbed to death. It's not up to anyone to decide to take somebody else's life. And of course, we don't have any, Dee Dee's not here to say anything. So I think, we've got to sort of be careful with that. We can't judge people just like that. That's why, I wouldn't judge Gypsy, because I'm not, she's been through what she's been through and it's been awful. But, she's got a lot of fans, and I think most of them are divided like that. It's like this sort of, some people think Dee Dee deserved everything she got. Other people don't, and then other people are in the middle. It's a very difficult thing. I do think nobody deserves to be stabbed by their own child, to be honest.
Sure. I don't know anybody that said, okay, I'm ready, I'm doing this. I think in my experience, everybody that I've ever talked to, they're like, it just happened. And so I feel a shift in myself. When I found out that I was pregnant, none of anything else mattered. The drama on social media, the feud between creator and me and all of that drama just all faded. It didn't matter anymore. All that matters is making sure that I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, my relationship.
See, that sort of piques me a bit when she's saying, all the drama on social media, but she's created most of the drama, because if she just didn't ever say anything or do anything, there would be no drama on social media. If she hadn't done this video, I wouldn't be here talking about this. I don't go looking to see what's happening in Gypsy Rose's life. These things come out because she makes them come out, and she's, I'm not blaming her for that. I'm just saying, but then you can't blame it on social media for the drama. It's a bit like Seth, isn't it, in the Sebastian Rogers thing, blaming social media, but it's you who's out there on all the YouTube channels. If you don't want fuss on social media, don't go on all the YouTube channels. This is the choice that you've got, and you can't have both. I'm sure Gypsy, somebody said in the chat that she needs the social media, etc., for financial support. Well, maybe she does, but then, she's doing it, and you can't have. You go on social media, you can't get the good things. You're going to get some bad things. You might not. She might get 90% of positive support, but she's always going to get 10% of people not being very nice. That is just the way of it. And anyone who's on social media knows that. And you just sort of, it always comes to a point where you have to decide whether you're going to take it or not. And that I've said, that I get very little negativity, but I do get it sometimes. And it always makes you think, oh God, is it even worth doing this? Because it is hurtful. But what keeps you going, of course, is the support that you get from most nice people, or, and I don't expect people to agree with me all the time, but I don't expect them to be nasty to me just because I'm saying what I think. I wouldn't be nasty to them for saying what they think. So you do have to take the good and bad, unfortunately. So I don't know what she's going to do when she actually has the baby. Is she going to keep the baby private, or is it going to be life with the Gypsy Rose Blanchards? Sort of, is there going to be a documentary every year, or because some celebrities do that, don't they? But it's really just saying that word celebrity. Most celebrities, even if they're not dead famous, they've done something, like they've been on a reality show, or they've been a singer, or they've been in a group, or like Gypsy's celebrity status is from murdering her mother or conspiring to murder her mother. That is what doesn't sit well with me as well. It's not like she's a minor celebrity because of anything else. It's because she's a celebrity because she conspired to murder her mother. That's not right, I don't think.
Relationship with Ken is healthy, and we are moving forward in a positive way. It's an amazing feeling when your whole world shifts, and suddenly it's not about you. It's not about anything other than the tiny little life that's inside you.
Oh, you've got a big shock coming. Suddenly it's not about you. It's true, isn't it? I always say, make the most of being pregnant, Gypsy, because it's the last bit of peace you'll ever have. Because being pregnant is great, isn't it? I love being pregnant. It's like people are so nice to you. They open the door for you. They sort of won't. They don't smoke near you, or they'll ask if you're okay. They'll get you a chair at work. When I was working and I was pregnant, it was like, "Oh, you okay? Sit down." Oh, you're feeling okay? Do you want to go home early? Oh, blah de blah de blah de blah. Soon as you have that baby, it all changes. So people don't even open doors for you anymore. They just shut them in the pushchair. You're having to. Everything's a struggle. Once the baby's born, of course, you don't get any sleep. So at least when you're pregnant, you can sleep, you can eat when you want, you can shower when you want, you can do all those things because the baby's quite safe inside you. As soon as that baby pops out, everything changes. And then, of course, you always think it'll get better, don't you? Or you're always trying to get them to walk, get them to talk. And then when they can walk and they can talk, you wish they would sit down and shut up. You know what I mean? It's weird, isn't it? Because you do, it's like, you want them to walk. But of course, then they get to that point where they're just running off all the time, and it's exhausting. That, when they discover their feet. And then when they discover their voice, it's so cute at first, and then afterwards you're thinking, oh my God. So there's nothing better than being pregnant. It's peaceful, as long as you have a night, some people have a difficult pregnancy. I didn't, luckily for me. And I really enjoyed being pregnant, but it's hard once the baby's born, and it doesn't get better because it gets harder. And then you think when they're 2, you think, oh, well, when they're 5, I think they do calm down a little bit then, maybe about 5, till they're teenagers. Then you've got a whole different world of problems. And then you think, oh, well, when they're 18, when they're 21, I've got friends whose children are 40. And they're still causing problems, so having a child, as lovely as it is, it's not easy. Nobody tells you all that. I don't think it would matter, to be honest, because I think once your hormones take over and you want a baby, I don't think even people saying to you, oh, this, that, or the other, because you always think, oh, my child won't be like that. Oh, that won't happen to me. Yeah. Anyway, it's hard, isn't it? Bringing up children is hard. I think, people should realize that. That's why a lot of people are choosing not to have children. It's also very expensive. I don't know how Gypsy's going to get on with it. She might make a brilliant mum. The experience she's had might make her a brilliant mum, or it might make it difficult for her to be a mum because of the mum that she had. So, but one thing I think she'll be getting help, Gypsy. I would imagine she's still getting counselling, etc.
That you are now in charge of protecting, and that little tiny life is a baby, a little tiny human that's yours, and that you have to make sure that you protect, you love, you take care of, and all of the things that I wished I could have had when I was little.
Oh. Oh.
Here I am getting emotional, guys.
Oh, bless.
All the things that I wanted in a mother, I want to give to this baby.
Oh.
You know, knowing that I am a mother now.
Yeah, I expect, to be honest, it's freaking her out completely because of what she's gone through in her childhood. You know, because it does freak you out, doesn't it? Being a mother anyway. But yeah, you always think you're not going to make the same mistakes your parents made. You're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. But of course, it's not. We know it's not as easy as that once you actually have a child. There's loads of things I did wrong that now, if I look back, I think, oh, I shouldn't have done this or I shouldn't have done that. But you know, it's too late now.
And I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be a good mother for my child. I want to be everything my mother wasn't.
Oh.
Ken and I had a wonderful talk about the future for him and I. And we both agree that we both grew up in broken homes. I grew up without a father pretty much. And he grew up in a family where, you know, his parents got divorced. And I think we both agree that neither one of us wants our child to be in that kind of a situation. With that being said, it doesn't matter what we go through, him and I. Whatever we face, we'll face it together.
Well, you know, a lot of children are brought up in broken homes these days, or, you know, parents, you know, people don't tend to stay together, do they? But a lot of people are brought up in blended families, etc., and they're good. You know, it just takes that bit of extra work, I suppose. Sometimes it can be worse for a couple to stay together just for the sake of the children, you know, than separate, you know, depending on the relationship. So it's a tough one, isn't there? There's no perfect family out there. There's no perfect parent. There's no perfect relationships. You know, life is, relationships are tough. And they'll be especially tough for Gypsy, of course, because of her childhood.
Because we have a baby now. We have something that's bigger than either one of us. So whatever comes our way, whatever arguments we have, whatever drama gets thrown at us on social media, we're going to stick together. We're not breaking because we are a family now. And as unconventional as this relationship and this child may have came from, I couldn't be happier. And this is a blessing. I found my freedom in a way that I never expected. And I'm okay with that. Everything that has ever happened to me in my life suddenly doesn't matter. Because
yeah, you know, then I get to a point where I just think, oh, it's too much, you know. But she has been brought up, as I say, in the spotlight. She's been brought up to do these kind of things. This is the way her life's always been. So it'd be interesting to see what happens now.
It all led me to be who I am today. And it all led me to this moment right here, right now. And that's a blessing. To say that I made it. That's a success story.
So there you go. So that's Gypsy's announcement. Oh, hang on. Why is that? So that's what Gypsy had to say about everything. Now, her ex-husband. Well, do you know what? He's not even her ex-husband yet. So the thing is, I was just about to say her ex-husband. She's not even divorced yet from Ryan before she's pregnant. You know, this is what I'm trying to say is it's very quick, isn't it, from one relationship to another. When she split up from Ryan, she said she was going to take time for herself. And I think that's what she needs. I mean, she came straight out of prison, straight into Ryan's arms, who she'd married while she was in prison. Next minute they've split up. Next minute she's with her previous fiance. You know, when has Gypsy really had time just for her? You know, not she hasn't really, has she? So hi David, hi Chumba. You know, it's that's my feeling is that anyway, she's pregnant now. That's it. So no point in thinking, no, she should have waited longer before she got in a relationship with somebody else. She didn't, and she's pregnant. So that's the situation. But I just wanted to show you because Ryan now has his own TikTok account. This is what I mean. This whole situation is about social media, you know, not only from her, but also, where's he gone now? Hang on, it's not this one, this one. So the Ryan Anderson, that's his profile, and he's been releasing TikTok videos, giving his side of everything. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on, need to show.
And nice messages I've been getting from people.
Go back to the beginning. Good old TikTok.
Hey everybody, I just want to say thank y'all for the support and the nice messages I've been getting from people. I'm at a friend's watching WrestleMania right now. It's great. I'm enjoying it. You know, I've been a wrestling nerd for a long time. But I need to shave. But you know, I just want to thank everybody for the support. It's been great. I'm just living my life, guys. Y'all will see what really happened on Lifetime.
So he says we'll see what really happened on Lifetime because they've been making this series, you know, about following Gypsy in her story after she came out of prison. So he can't talk about anything until the documentary or the series comes out. You know what I mean? They're living their lives like in the camera, you know. So, but then you can't be surprised when you get social media attention, can you? Because if you choose to live your life publicly like that, your whole life, even your private life, and take the money for it because they'll have been paid for it, that's the price you pay.
We're filming a lot, so stay tuned for that. And I just want to thank everybody for the support. If you support me, follow me. I will post more stuff eventually.
And he's a teacher, Ryan.
He's hanging in. I just want to say thank y'all to everybody, and you know, God bless.
Yeah, let's see if I can find any more.
Hey everybody, I just want to say thank y'all for the support and the.
How do I find these others? Right, I think so. 10.1 million views. This one.
Hey guys, just sitting around and got a couple random thoughts. I did my first live today, and it was cool. I enjoyed that. But that being said, guys, it's very difficult for me to stay respectful. Okay. And
difficult to stay respectful.
To not be respectful. Okay. Yes, I did text Gypsy during her live with Ken tonight. But Ken, don't let her fool you. She called me last Saturday talking about she missed me, and of course I miss you. And she said a lot of other things too. But I'm not going to go there because I want to be respectful. Uh, and it's funny. She doesn't text me back to be respectful to her boyfriend Ken, but she had no respect for her husband Ryan. And it's funny, Ken sitting there. You do you. You believe that? You really believe that she's being respectful? Okay. I got receipts too, babe. So we can go there. And plus, yeah, we'll let the lawyers handle it from now on. We'll let the lawyers handle it. And believe me, they will handle it. Take it easy. Hey guys, just sitting around.
So yeah, you can see he's not very happy, is it? I think you can definitely think that he's not very happy with Gypsy. Looks like he's dyed his hair black there or something. Let's just have a look at one more.
Hey guys, just hanging out. Me and Pixie back home. She's wanting to play with her little toy. I'm so glad she's back. So glad I'm back. Have Pixie back with me. LA was a great trip. I had a blast. Did some cool interviews and stuff like that. But it was a hard trip. I had to reminisce about Gypsy a lot. And it made me miss her a great deal. And it made me really, really miss her. But I'm back home. Episode 2's tonight. Y'all get to see an episode where we do drive home. I did see some comments where people thought I was creepy in the first episode. You got to realize, guys, that was my wife getting out of jail. That night I was excited. You got to realize I was ready to be intimate with my wife for the first time. Waited 3 years for that night. We talked about that night a lot. So y'all thought that was creepy. Imagine you getting out of jail and your husband doesn't want to touch you. Doesn't say anything about it. You'd be thinking something's wrong. That's what's happening. I also saw where they tried to mock me and stuff on live. Somebody sent that to me. I think it's funny, guys. People were asking me, "Are you mad?" Imitations and mockery is the highest form of flattery. So they're sitting around mocking me. I mean, shows how awesome I am, right? But anyway, guys, episode 2 tonight. Hope y'all enjoy. I am back home. I'm excited. I'm glad to be back. But guys, y'all have a great day, and talk to y'all soon. Bye.
Oh, I don't think I want to watch any more of that. So, yeah, it was all a bit sort of vomit-inducing, wasn't it? When Gypsy first came out of prison, there was definitely too much information, and it was just like too much talk about what they were doing behind closed doors and this, that, and the other. It was, I just don't think, everybody knows what's going on at night time. When your wife just comes out of prison, I don't think you need to spell it out to people. People know what's going to happen, but they don't want all the gory details. Well, I certainly don't want all the gory details. And maybe some people like the gory details, but to be honest, it sort of knocked me sick a bit, that. But anyway, so he's on the old social media as well. Perhaps it's only a matter of time before a new partner is on the old social media. But poor Nicholas, he can't go on the old social media, can he? Because he's in prison for life without parole. This is the other thing that I find uncomfortable. That although Nicholas, of course, he's the one that actually stabbed Dee Dee, but he would never have done it if it wasn't for Gypsy. So I think there's a lot to this, and I still just cannot make up my mind. I understand why a lot of people support Gypsy. It's undeniable that she went through a lot when she was a child. But when did it come to a point when she was a teenager or older and she started seeing Nicholas, where she could have escaped from that situation in a different way, gone to the police, taken, Dee Dee would have had to go to court, and do stabbing her was not the answer. I'm sorry. To me, I can never accept that that's the answer, to stab someone and kill them like that. As horrible as Dee Dee might have been. And now Dee Dee, of course, cannot say anything. She's gone, and Gypsy's out there sort of almost profiting from her experiences, and maybe many people would say, you know, she deserves to profit something from those terrible experiences, but where does it stop? You know, what's going to happen when this baby's born? The baby's innocent. The baby, doesn't need to be brought into all this. So it's a very strange situation. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about it as we've been following this case. I'm still on the fence about Gypsy. I can go through sort of being a bit sort of snarky with her, why is she doing this? And then when she got upset then in that video, then I'm like, oh, you know, poor Gypsy. But, you know, and then I think back about her sitting in the bathroom shaving all her bits, waiting to have sex with her boyfriend who was murdering her mother. Her mother was shouting her name, and she was just in the bathroom having a shave, waiting for Nicholas to finish off murdering her mother. And then they had sex while the mother's body was still there, just lying on the bed. So, you know, that those are the kind of things that sort of put me off Gypsy, if you like. So, you know, before Dee Dee was murdered, Gypsy, as I say, she had her own money. She was sending money to Nicholas. She had some independence. And that was the time, in my opinion, she should have fled with Nicholas to his home, where his mother said, I wish they would have told me because we could have done something about it. That mother has lost her son for life. He's in prison for life. No parole. And there's Gypsy out after 8 years. So, you know, there's so many facets to this case, but there'll be always be some people that are totally with Gypsy, other people totally against Gypsy, and some people like me sort of in the middle about it. So anyway, yeah, I do feel that there are more things that she could have done, but you know, I wasn't in her shoes. She was young. Who knows? But I believe that even Nicholas tried to persuade her to go a different way around it. So, you know, I don't know. But I just wanted to share that news with you. So Gypsy is pregnant. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about it. It'll be all over social media. Or will she decide to just step back from social media now and just get on with having a baby and living it? She keeps saying she wants to live a normal life, but she's not leading a normal life if she's sort of putting everything on YouTube. That's, you know, her whole life on YouTube. But maybe that's all, you know, if that's a way of earning money. I'm not against that either. So it's a total, you know, for me, it's a bit of a mind numbing sort of scenario that I can talk myself into one thing and then I can talk myself out of it again. You know, I can talk myself into feeling sorry for Gypsy and then I can talk myself out of feeling sorry for Gypsy. That's how I go all the time in my head about this. But anyway, meantime, she'll be doing her own thing. She's got lots of fans. She's got lots of support. Lots of people are supporting Ryan. You know, I suppose anyone who goes on social media, there's always going to be some people who'll support them and some people who won't. But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know. And I will be back on live shortly. I'm going to do one more live this morning and then that'll be it from me till tomorrow. But till I see you later, may your God, as always go with you. Bye. Oh, by the way, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Bye.